Hello, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you, the people of the show. Pepper today, hope you're feeling grand as when you are. Yes. Hi there, I don't know what that was, it was strange, but okay. Okay, so today, I thought I'd do a video on this. I thought this would be quite interesting. I'm going to see which one of my guitars' pickups are closest to the 62's original pickups. So, I've got three guitars other than the 62 here, and what I'm gonna kind of comparison them between, make a comparison video between the four guitars basically, with the 62 kind of like being the main kind of sound. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play a passage on the bridge, middle and neck on the 62, and then a passage on the bridge, middle and neck on the other three guitars I've got, and let's go have a see which one is closest, so to say. What are the other guitars I have? One of the guitars I've got is I've got my white 60s Mexican reissue with the Tex Mex pickups, so that's the other guitar. I've got the Oswald Strat with the Seymour Duncan SSL-1s, and I also have my vintage V6 Icon with the stock Wilkinson pickups as well. So what I'm going to do is, what you're going to hear is you're going to hear me play a bridge, passage on the bridge pickup of the 62, and then it'll switch to the white Strat. Then you'll hear the 62 again, so you can make a comparison, and then it'll switch to the Oswald Strat 62 vintage V6 Icon, and then we'll go to the middle and we'll do the same thing again: 62 white Strat, 62 Oswald Strat, 62 vintage, and the same thing on the neck. And I'll do it in clean first, and then I'll do a distortion thing later on. And I'm just gonna go straight into the Marshall Flexi today. No pedals, just straight in, just straight clean sound. I've got a little bit of reverb on it, but that's about it. And yeah, well, it'd be quite interesting, I think, to see how, because all these guitars claim to have that vintagey kind of Strat sound. So it'll be very interesting to see how close and see which one is the closest at the end of it. So without further ado. Oh, by the way, the passage I'm going to play isn't going to change. It's going to be the same thing over and over and over again, so it's a fair comparison. I don't want to start playing something that is totally different to what I've just played, because it's not fair then. So, make of it what you will, if you will. So, let's get to it, shall we? So I'm going to start with 62, then go to my 60s Mexican reissue, and we'll go from there. So, here we go. Okay, so bridge pickup to start with. Okay, now middle pickup. Okay, finally neck pickup. So that's all the clean examples I'm going to show. When I do the distortion bits in a minute, I'm just going to go bridge and neck, just in the interest of time, because it's going to be fairly long video as it is. But also, just, middle pickup is kind of neglected a lot with distortion, so I'm just going to skip over that time bit and just do bridge and neck pickups just for those examples. But yeah, I hope this is kind of like, you know, showing something at least. It's very interesting hearing the differences in mid-range and low end between all the guitars. Very, very strange. I will watch back as well before I give my opinion at the end of the video of what I think comes closest or what I didn't think comes anywhere near. I'm going to watch back on my computer and have a listen and see what I can hear. But so yeah, it's very interesting to hear. So what we're going to do now is going to switch over to the Overdrive 2 channel on the Flexi and do a passage on the bridge and then do a passage on the neck of the 60s reissue Oswald Strat and the Vintage V6. So let's switch over. Power. Smoky doo-day, doo-da-da-doo-day. Okay, so yeah, by the way, I decided against the whole flitting back to the 62 every time I changed guitar. As I was editing the video just now, it didn't look very good, so I've kind of scrapped that idea. Instead, I have put all the times to all the pickup kind of selections down below in the description box. So all you need to do is click on the time, and it'll take you backwards and forwards, I'd say. So, I've had a listen as well. I'll let you know what I think. First off, I want to know which ones you preferred and why. So, leave me a comment in the comment section below. Where else would they be, Dave? And let me know which ones you preferred. For me, the closest was my 60s reissue Mexican Strat, my white Strat. I just feel it had the right kind of tonality to me. It just sounded a lot like this one, so I feel that's definitely kind of like the closest pickup wise, definitely to these pickups. After that, it was the Oswald Strat. I felt with the Seymour Duncans, I felt the Seymour Duncans, they just had a little bit too much low end and a little bit too much mid range. They weren't as sparkly and as glassy kind of sounding and as bright as the white Strat and the 62. They just didn't quite have, I don't know, they weren't quite as yeah, they just weren't quite as bright, really. Especially the low end on the SSLs were very, the low end's really prominent on the SSLs, so I don't know, it came close-ish, So to say, I feel the one after that was definitely the vintage V6, especially the bridge pickup on the V6 was a lot darker than all the others. It had a bit more of a kind of almost a P90-esque kind of sound. I think that could be to do with the fact of the vintage has a 500k pot volume pot instead of a 250k. So that could be something to do with it. I don't know if putting a 250 in the vintage would change that. It's not to say the pickups in the vintage V6 are rubbish, because they're definitely not. They sound immense, and they hold their own against all these guitars. So, you know, they just didn't sound as bright and as kind of like, you know, like these. But they still sound amazing. I still love them to pieces. I didn't change any settings on the amplifier. I didn't change any leads. They're all strung with gauge 10 to 46 Diodario strings. They're all very played in Diodario strings. There's not a new set on them. They're all very kind of well played in strings. Anything else? I tried to keep my kind of playing kind of unison as well. Not trying to like, you know, dig in harder on a different guitar to anything. I tried to kind of like restrain myself from getting too carried away and beating on one guitar and being lighter on another. I used the same plectrum, which is just the 60mm plectrum, for what that's worth. But I've got to say, I do think that the middle pickups, all around on the middle pickup, it was very kind of straight across the board, really. They all sounded very similar on the middle pickup. Again, it's same order though. I felt it was like, you know, 62, 60s, Seymour Duncan's, and then the Wilkinson ones. But they sounded very close on the middle pickup. The distortion, it was harder to tell. With distortion, it is always harder to tell. Like if you're doing a comparison between guitars, I always feel it's harder to tell the difference between guitars with distortion. If it's really clean, you really hear the characteristics of the guitar. Whereas if it's kind of like got lashings of distortion on it, I don't feel that it's a fair comparison, because the signal's compressed so much and stuff like that. It was a lot harder to kind of tell. You could still tell a little bit of a difference between them all, but it was very kind of a lot kind of flatter on the kind of sound front with distortion. They all sounded great, and they all sounded great through clean as well, but they all sounded different through clean. So and we all know, you know, what this, you know, all guitars are different. Every guitar is different. You know, the one made after this is different. The one made after my White Strat is different. You know, Master Nick's next Oswald Strat would be different to that one. You know, and same with the Wilkinson, the vintage V6 ones. They're all different as well. So, you know, for what it's worth, but I do feel that the closest approximation to the original 62 pickups was the 60s White Strat, Mexican reissue with the Tex Mex pickups. I really feel they felt very similar, very kind of like, you know, they had the same kind of response. The way they kind of feel was very similar. So yeah, not the most scientific video I know on the thing. You know, I'm not going to get an oscilloscope out and start, you know, going heavily into detail on what this, that, and the other. And just going by sound and what you can hear. And for me, I felt like I say, the White Strat was the closest, definitely, with the Tex Mex pickups. I love Tex Mex pickups. I adore them. Absolutely adore them. The ones in my White Strat are just heaven. Absolute heaven. You know, I love the Seymour Duncan SSL-1s as well, and I love the vintage V6, the Wilkinson pickups. But the Tex Mex ones have a lot. There's something special in Tex Mex pickups, a lot like this, how these are special as well. But anyway, yeah, anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like I say, it's not 100% scientific, I know, but I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you again very soon for another one. I might be doing a live stream tomorrow night. I'm a bit undecided yet, as if I feel I've got something on, but I don't know if I have. But if not, I might hopefully do a live stream tomorrow night, and I've got Q&A Wednesday. Trying to get back on track after Halloween. If I do a live stream tomorrow night, I will put like a little 30-second video up tomorrow daytime at some point, letting you know I am doing a live stream and at what time. So yeah. Anyway, and I'll probably see you tomorrow or Wednesday for Q&A Wednesday, depending on what and where and when. Have a great morning, afternoon, good evening, goodbye now. That's rock and roll. It's not, Dave, you're an idiot.